Cảm ơn mọi người. Nói thật tiếng Việt Anh cũng không rành á, nó chỉ khoảng như vậy thôi. Anh sẽ cố gắng dùng cơ hội này nói tiếng Việt, học tiếng Việt. Nhưng mà anh nghĩ nhiều khi anh phải đổi lại tiếng Anh, tại vì anh nghĩ cái nói ý nó sẽ sai khi mà nói tiếng Việt. Như vậy đó thì thông cảm nha, chứ cứ cố gắng nghe tiếng Anh tiếng Việt, đúng không? Thì cái công ty Berkeley Hub á, của anh á, thì dùng 3 cái công nghệ, 3 technology. Anh cho vui á thì anh nói gọi là ABC, hiểu không? Thì cũng dính líu về AI, Big Data, với Computer Vision. Nhưng mà anh cũng muốn nói lịch sử chút xíu, tại sao 3 cái này hay 3 cái giống cái này nó sẽ giúp đỡ cái suy nghĩ của mọi người, cái giúp đỡ mấy em vào tương lai. So agenda, okay, let me switch in English to go faster, okay? I don't think I can do it in Vietnamese, okay? So the agenda, just a little bit about me, just 1 minute. Definition and history of what I believe is why it's so important about data in general. Past case studies, that's what I did with Samsung, Mitsubishi, about Berkeley Hub, exactly what we're doing regarding this, and some major takeaways that actually, hopefully, will be applicable, useful, for the audience here. And we have 0 time for Q&A, but I will try to go faster, and we have maybe 1 or 2 minutes, okay? All right. So I'm old, so that's why the resume is kind of long, right? So I graduated MIT 93 and 94, basically working with AI, computer science stuff. So the logo here basically work on big data. This project work related to AI, and this project related to computer vision. So you can tell based on my career, it's always dabble between the 3 different technologies. So they're actually applicable for the last 20 years. So after MIT, I went to Japan, worked for Mitsubishi in R&D, and then do a whole bunch of different startups after that. And then I worked for Samsung for 10 years, back and forth in Korea, and now in Vietnam, do 2 startups, one the Butterfly Hub. It's more like weekdays. On weekends, co-founded with other MIT people, doing entrepreneur coaching, really. And in the future, we will probably collaborate with this regarding this, okay? All right, so why do I'm passionate so much about this field, right? So we can talk about the knowledge, history of it. So personal opinion, like before, right when we get the telescope get invented, right? So this is when human can actually see something far away topic that we cannot see with the naked eyes, now visible for us. That when we start tracking, mapping the stars and everything else, born astrology, born navigation. Then we actually realized that the Earth rotates around the sun, right? The Earth is not flat. There are these things that we believe before no longer true. That brings a whole new kind of knowledge. So therefore, you imagine now we know exactly all the lands and the water within the Earth with that. And that's significant about people traveling, open up the knowledge, discover the world within inside us and the world around us. And then the big thing is the invention of microscope. The microscope allows us to see something small, right? The naked eye we cannot see. Now we can actually see this. That actually born new types of knowledge regarding medicine, regarding biology. The things that we think about germs, the things you think about how the insect, the human body works, right? That allow us to create better medicine, allow us to actually understand that how everything that allow us to do better healthcare, everything else, right? And then there's the concept of things we can measure, right? Things we can see, but we cannot see to our eyesight. We have a concept, right? That we cannot see far, we cannot see close. So therefore, we come up with the concept of the atoms, right? We start building periodic tables. We start to look at the elements, and there, from that base, we can start understanding about chemistry, right? Medicines, right? And that's also a concept of electrical, where I can do computers, everything else, because we believe in it, but we cannot see it. We can measure it, we can test it. right? And that born a next level evolution. The latest one is about data. Now, we always measure, always think in the past, but data is a little bit, in the recent time, we actually have computer, we have a system, we have belief in everything. So therefore, through data, there is a new concept of psychology. What would women do? What would men do? What would people of certain age do? That was, people with certain behavior, certain income, what would they do? So this is born through data, dissecting and collecting and quantifying. That will create a psychology, and that basically become the essence of intelligence, real, right, or artificial. So therefore, through data, everything now become measurable, quantifiable, and through that, I think it's become the root of the psychology and intelligence that we know. So, a little bit history of what I work on. So at MIT, in early 90s, we learned something about GPS, right? And this is what we look at, right? It's very crude drawing and how things work. Not only until I get to Japan in the early 90s, I discovered the Japanese, they used the concept of GPS and they built this. This existed in the mid-90s. I was so blown away. I was so blown away about the things you learn academically, what you can do. And someone able to take this and brought it to the next generation of consumer-facing ideas. 3D modeling, mapping, all that true, but you have to create different layers. So that made me have a totally appreciation about how to use data and apply it to something the consumer needs. So I was blown away what the Japanese did at that time, right? So when I work on that, so the main problem we're working on is something called where am I? That's what the GPS is supposed to do, is where am I? To there, imagine through the technology GPS, all we got is a longitude, latitude, right? That's very basic. But if we create different layers of data, like street names, point of interest for restaurant, local businesses, street view, then through AI or different knowledge-based system, we can basically answer all these consumers and business needs questions. So that's Japan. Through, when I work for Samsung, we have a problem, meaning there's a lot of smartphones existing in the world. And I work for television division. So they want to explore what are smart TVs. The early concept is basically to clone whatever smartphone doing. Meaning you have Netflix here, they'll put Netflix here. All right. Here you have email. For strange reason, people put emails on here too. Here there are browsers, we put browsers. So people don't really have a concept, idea what to do with smart TVs, except just make a bigger size of that smart mobile. So through the research I did at Samsung, we say, okay, we have to have a brain in the TV. So the mobile has the GPS answering where am I. So the TV needs to have something to address a totally different problem, to have its own brain. All right? So we invented the concept called ACR, automatic content recognition. Technically, it looks like this. Right? But what it's doing is just basically answer one basic question. What am I watching? What's on TV? If you know that, I think a lot of different things can happen. Right? So therefore, we work on the technology on able to capture what video source it is, what time, what location that on TV. Then everything else we do massive data, knowing every channels, what they displaying, every program, every advertisement, every topic, every scenes, every actors. If we work on that, then through AI, we're able to basically predict what people were watching, predict who watching, predict what would their behavior, predict if they're watching let's say Super Bowl commercial about Doritos, would they go out and buy Doritos, right? So all these things, basically how we influence the physical world. So all these things, you can imagine, is multi-billion-dollar industry. And what we're trying to solve is just trying to get this thing very well. GPS, know location very well, because GPS originally just outdoor. There's a lot of effort working on indoor mapping and under structures, multi-levels, malls, and things like that. The same for here, what you're watching. So what's next? So we work on where am I, we work on what am I watching. So this is startup, a Butterfly Hub. We want to solve a new problem. What do I look like? All right, so this is sound real simple, but you know that you are being treated differently based on your look. And that's just human nature. You look a certain way, you go to the airport, guess what? You're going to get frisked. You're going to get, interrogated. You look a certain way, you walk into a bar, you get treated differently, right? How we meet each other, relationship. The first, how we see each other, it affects basically how we feel about each other, what kind of service, what kind of products, what kind of reaction we feel each other. So this is very important as a human technology. So let's say we have a product called Butterfly Wow. It's basically transform beauty to the exercise. So really quick, what is it? So why beauty? Beauty is actually not color, not skin deep. Beauty is more about confidence. How confident you are in certain environment. Did you dress appropriately? Do you feel accepted? That confidence will actually build a better opportunity in life. We know that some people look appropriate for the role, get better treatment. They will get better opportunities, better career, and better lifestyle. All right. So I think this is impact almost everybody. So the demand is definitely there. And of course, market space wise, $500 billion annually worldwide. In Vietnam alone is $2 billion. It sounds small, right? But it is a very important sector to be in. So imagine, her name is Sandra. During the day, she works at the bank. And at night, she goes out with the girls, go clubbing. And then Saturday, she goes on a date with her boyfriend, and Sunday, she goes to church with her family. She would have all these problems, that how to be acceptable and professional for her boss, how to be, crazy and fun with the girls, how to be sexy or something attractive for her boyfriend, and how to be proper for the family, right? So most female carrying multiple lipsticks and many things, and he's trying to change the glass of town. So what is the problem with this is that she's look at magazines, she follow KOLs, she's look at Instagram for ideas, but the problem is the people she look at, they do not look like her. Just because I look like this, and then I look at some magazines and I saw like Nigel Washington or somebody really handsome, but it makes no difference if I try to copy him. And also, when you look for services, you're looking for someone like where to go to salons, what product you use, what product you buy. The problem is that she would ask her friends, where you go get a haircut? But her friend does not look like her. So that also does not make sense. And somehow we stuck in this beauty market this way. So, and of course, with Butterfly, we're lucky that basically on the business technical side, we have a lot of MIT supporters and advisors, investors, and beauty fashion, mostly from China and South Korea, supporting our project. So, in terms of technology, back to that. So, for Where Am I, we work on GPS and a whole bunch of data and a whole bunch of intelligence. For What Am I Watching, we work on something called ACR, I mentioned before, and data and that. So what does it look like? The question is, what technology we need to build for this to work? Any guess? It's the title of the presentation. Computer vision, exactly. Right? So the idea here is, in simplicity, is that we in the analog world, physical world, you at the shopping mall, you're watching McDonald's commercials, you look this way. We want to convert that to the digital side. Because we know on the digital side, you can scale, right? You can remote, you can clone, you can manipulate. But from there, you want to go back to the analog world. Right? So you want to make recommendation. You want to tell people to drive left, drive right, and people would drive left, drive right. You want to tell people to, after you're watching this, change to Netflix and watch this show. You want to influence them that way. And the same thing here, we want to influence people to change the habit, change behavior in the beauty space. So, as you guessed it, we need computer vision. You analyze face, analyze color, analyze styles. So this is our app, one of our apps. For one time, you log in Facebook. Then we analyze your facial features. We look at shapes, what nose shape, mouth shape, hair shape, face shape, all those things. We look at color, hair color, eye color, skin color, lips color, clothes colors. And we look at, we call it style, meaning things or products, meaning you wear glasses, do you smile often, right? Do you have a beard? Because this thing you can remove, right? You can shave and you can, those things. So we look at those things. And then, based on what you're looking for, based on the event, we recommend different looks internationally, worldwide, the latest trends. What is the right thing for you based on your look? These are the people who look like you in the, let's say, dating scenarios, environment, and this is what they do. For example, so this way in the morning, every time you kind of wonder, say, hey, which glasses, which hair, what quick change I can do, you can already quickly search and find the latest stuff. From there, of course, on the business model, we can recommend the right stylist for you. We recommend the right stylist for you. It's not based on advertisement, based on promotion, based on all that. Definitely not, because we want to be data-centric. So we basically analyze the stylists and their customers. And whoever has a customer who look like you with the style you're looking for, that's what we recommend. So we follow the data evidence. The same is for salon. Which salon is best for you, based on convenience, based on time, based on what stylists they have, what kind of customers they do. So we don't base on typical point systems and things like that, which doesn't make sense. Because you say awesome and you say bad, who would I listen to? It depends on what we look like, depends on what we have in common. And also recommend products. So, and also, people also want feedback. So, okay, I follow the program, I try this look, but was it successful? So every post, we also analyze the audience. So you know exactly how successful is that. Now, success is basically who likes your picture, who engaged in that. So Monday, you basically look at strength, Tuesday, Wednesday, who are demographic, geographic, it was something we call physiographics. The people who like your look, the people who like Monday, what do they look like? This have a lot of business application with that too. So, imagine here, to pick the style, we recommend this for the Apple Pay. Okay, so it's important for the full product solution. Think about how to capture the physical world, the analog world, and consistently map it to the digital world. And of course, typical big data, you need to organize it, you need to sort it, you need to basically serve it quickly and able to handle massive scales. So you say big data, you basically have to generate data, right? Either buy it, build it, or steal it, right? That's the only complete way you can do it. And we steal it because we go Instagram and Facebook, we crawl. That's kind of stealing, right? Or you can buy it or something, right? And then you have to find a way to map it back to the digital world so you can measure again. You have to be a full loop to be effective. That's called conversion. We have to really look at that, right? So another takeaway for me, because I'm more a data person, the more takeaway for me is that the digital part here is really the fuel for artificial intelligence. Remember, say data is for psychology, for intelligence. Doesn't matter what you do on the AI side. I know a lot of people get excited about artificial intelligence, deep learning, machine learning, and all this buzzword, right? But what's important is the data. That's what the difference between Google Map and Apple Map, right? I mean, you can have the smartest AI navigate you around, you have the best interface. But Apple Maps have horrible data, right? Incorrect data. So that makes it not usable. So focus on the data is important and figure out how this data relevant for AI. In the past, we used data to communicate human to human. Oh, I know, like a lot of my friends like this pho place, you can go there. So we use that kind of data. But of course, moving forward, we have to think data for AI. Right? So unfortunately, we stop thinking about data. The AI can make decisions for us. But this part is very important. Garbage in, garbage out, you heard that before. Right? So if we have bad data, your product, doesn't matter how small the system is, it's going to be garbage. What do you have? So how much time I have for Q&A? Oh, I'm going fast. Okay. Who understood that in English? Was it okay? Sorry for those who did. All right, so that's why we do Q&A, and this could be in Vietnamese to make up for my English.
A question
Yes.
in English, so yes. Do you worry about some of the decisions made on visual are conflicting with some of the ethical responsibilities, like TSA? It's true that they screen people based on how you look, but they're not supposed to do that, right? Is there a conflict?
So this is a little deeper question, because this is more related back on technology. Is it evil, good, all that kind of things, right? It's really back to that. And to be honest, technology are tools. It just empower who we are. So we have some concept of how you do it, benefit for us, but not others. We just always find different tools to do it. So this is hard. And when we talk about data, I mean, that's another, I didn't discuss in here, but that's a whole bunch of question. We talk about data, question regarding ownership, right? Who owns it? Question about privacy, right? A question about how much it's worth. A question about all these things. So hard to say, but of course in this field, the people with better data, faster response will win the game. And how they apply that for mankind or anything else is just really ethical and moral questions that I think we always struggle, from that perspective. So before we invented weapons, that's in fact that good or bad. I think now we have deeper intelligence that somehow that make decisions for us. Is that good or bad? Should be human involved in the AI decisions, or we all hands off and let AI fighting with AI? So it's all scary questions, and it's unknown. I think that back to the knowledge from the telescope to the microscope to the atoms. I think we are facing that kind of question. Is that should we explore? Should we just do it for scientific purpose, or there's some guidance, governance guidance, or things like that help us? That's a hard question. I don't know, did I answer to the question a little bit? I don't know. I'm not a politician. I just like to do what we do. Anything else?
How will you monetize the application?
It's very good questions. So this is, that's another presentation I have tomorrow. So this is more from, are you doing the unicorn model, right? Or you doing the workforce model, right? The unicorn model is basically build it, they will come, and you figure out how to monetize later, right? So reach user base is the key. So spend a lot of money, raise money, just focus on the reach, focus on the scale, and then advertisement and things like that. Or the workforce, basically you have to find ways to make money every day. Right, so we tried, basically, I tried the unicorn model, it didn't work for me, right? Because I think investors are more eager to see some revenue. So I switching over to the workforce doing B2B. So a lot of things I didn't mention here is that advertisement, the key. We work with Sephora. Imagine you walk into the store with a camera, in instant, I would know what product you have already and what you go buy. We work with Alibaba, allow you to do better conversions with product recommendation, right? So I think a lot of stuff out there, for better, for good, based on your look, based on your want, need, aspiration, people will try to fill the gap for you. I get people talking about plastic surgery. You look like this and you want to be like that. One visit to, I have an investor from South Korea, one visit to the store, snip it, you're done. So how we support, that's also the ethical side we want to think about. So that kind of answer your questions a little bit? Okay. So it's easier to do B2B. It's easier to do B2B. But B2B, you cannot disrupt the industry. You should enable existing industry. And that's a crossroad that every entrepreneur have to think and what to do and how to deal with the investors, solving that question.